Okay guys, hi, it's Alan here from $50 Film School. So today we're going to have a little look at miking up a start-off documentary, a low-budget documentary. Okay, and this request comes from Laura, who I've been chatting with on Twitter, and you can also hook up with Laura at LA Thompson, THOMSON tweets, at LA Thompson tweets on Twitter. Okay, so let's have a look at how we can approach trying to get the best out of our sound when we've got very little time, very little money, and so forth. So what I use at the minute is this digital SLR, okay, and there's a little mic input on the side of the camera here, and really, I mean, this is not an ideal situation, but it's sufficient for my purposes. I have a little lavalier mic, or lapel mic, okay, and this is a stereo one. It clips in just here, and that runs through a little adapter such as this, which gives you an option to switch between stereo and mono and turn the mic on and off. Now this is what's called phantom powered, which means that it requires a battery to power the mic. Okay, so you go through a little phantom power unit from the lavalier or lapel mic and through into your digital SLR. Now I also have this little funny little camcorder from back in the day. It actually shoots 1080. No image recorded. It speaks to me in a sort of West Coast accent, which I think is worth the price alone. Like most camcorders, it doesn't come with a, well, like most consumer camcorders, it just relies more or less on an onboard mic. Now they have given us the option of putting in, you can see here, just there's a little facility for including a mic. Now I thought that that was a mini jack mic input, but in actual fact, the mic input is so small that it doesn't take just a mini jack. It requires a further adapter, such as this. Okay, which you can pick up readily at an electrical shop. They'll make one up for you for pennies. Okay, and then that fits in there, just about, and then I can run my lavalier or lapel mic off that. Now there's a couple of things to consider here, like standby mode. As you would expect, you get what you pay for. Now the little microphone that I'm using here, the little stereo option, is quite a good little mic for the budget, which was about £25, okay? So in dollars, what's that? Maybe 40 bucks, something like that. Okay. What you're really looking for ideally is XLR cabled microphones, like Sennheiser's professional mics, that are go into like a prosumer camcorder, like a Sony Z1 or something like that. What you're really looking for here is XLR connectivity, and so those are your XLR cables. And now if you've ever done any kind of, if you've ever been in a band or done any sound engineering, you'll recognise those wee babies immediately. Okay, and there's the male and female connectors, very, very robust, and they're kind of industry standard, and they allow you to kind of run proper quality, very, very sturdy, excellent quality mics into your camera. And obviously on digital SLRs, you know, an XLR in would take up half the camera size. So see, if you like, Laura, if you're, for example, working through college, they should have access to good quality microphones, and again you'd be looking at Sennheisers more than likely. Try and get yourself access to a prosumer camcorder that has XLR inputs. That's what's really going to give you the differential when it comes to recording decent sound. Other things you want to consider are practical considerations, such as, you know, try and have as much control over the sound quality by virtue of the decisions you make about where and when you shoot. Okay, so if you can shoot in somewhere that's quiet and you have control over background noise, obviously that's the way to go. If you're shooting in an office, you have a lot of interruptions, background traffic, air conditioning, even lights can create a hum. Electrical equipment can create hums that's picked up on your microphone. So those are considerations that you want to bear in mind and consider. Okay. Additionally, let me think, what's the other thing I was going to say to you? perhaps the most important thing, bearing in mind that, oh yes, one other wee thing is that you can clean up sound in post-production, and there's a number of excellent tutorials on that online on YouTube. So if you do a search for using Soundtrack Pro to remove background hiss, that's you know, a kind of very accessible way to considerably improve your sound signal and reduce the signal to noise ratio. So the signal is the quality sound and the noise is any kind of background interference, and the ideal is always that you're getting a very strong signal and very little noise. Pardon me. Now that brings us on to one of the assumptions that we often make as filmmakers who are surrounded and blessed by so much technology. This can be fixed in post. People do that all the time with visuals and with sound, but really you want to make sure that you shoot the very optimum conditions visually and use the very optimum conditions for recording sound when you're actually there and live. Finally, the most important thing, always remember, is not, I mean, important as it is to have excellent quality technique, remember that that doesn't count for very much if what is being captured on camera isn't of any interest. So make sure that you get the very best out of your interview and have the people actually saying something that's worth recording properly. Okay? I think that for starting off, the ideal likely situation is that you're probably going to be working with a digital SLR, something like this. Have it on a tripod and use a little mic setup like that with whatever appropriate mic input works for you, and have it on a lapel. Now, the person isn't likely to be moving around much, and that should give you enough latitude to get a reasonable quality sound and a good quality picture without getting into very complex scenarios. You can get radio controlled mics, lapel mics that just kind of sit in the back pocket, but they're expensive and can be tricky to use, and unless there's an actually really good solid visual reason to have the subject untethered, then I wouldn't bother with that. If you have the liberty of having a separate sound recordist using a boom and proper mics going through a mixer, fantastic, but the likelihood is that you're not in that position. Anyway, so thank you so much for your time. Thank you for this specific inquiry, Laura. Let us know how you get on, and please send your work through to facebook.com my $50 film school, and when the $50 film school site is actually up and running, we'll focus on some of your work there. In the meantime, please comment, like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for listening. God bless. Bye.